Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I know what you are thinking in this exact moment. Beppe is fishing. Beppe is doing some clickbait and is trying to sell us the fact that it's enough, Ronaldo and Giuntoli having the same name, Cristiano, to put them together on the thumbnail, trying to attract as much possible viewers on the video. No, it is not. It is absolutely not clickbait. It is not me being fishing you. There is an invisible line between Giuntoli and Ronaldo. There is that invisible link that I will try to explain you, and I'm not explaining the casuality that yesterday was the day that Giuntoli was announced on the 7th day of the 7th month, 7, iconic number of Cristiano Ronaldo. That's not what I want to speak about, because I am convinced that if today Giuntoli is an important manager of Juventus, the origin of his arrival is Cristiano Ronaldo. I will also try to go and deep dive in what really is the first objective of Giuntoli. What will he exactly do? Because since yesterday, since his announcement, not only he brought a lot of enthusiasm thanks to his fantastic Juventini words, to that Juventinità that he shared in only 1 minute 37. But a lot of people are wishing that he has that magic wand and that from tomorrow on he will be able immediately to bring us Kim Min-jae, Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia. No, this will not be today the priority of Giuntoli. Giuntoli is not the sporting director that you are used to. It's not only mercato that he will do, scouting new players that he will do and trying to sign him. No, he will be much more than that. He will be the all-rounder, the people, the guy that will take care of every single aspect of it. And I had the chance to speak with a lot of people that are quite informed about what is happening at the moment. They heard parts of some discussions like the one of him and Paul Pogba, and they were able to tell me exactly what it is about. So I will try to answer all your questions. If there are some videos that I particularly like more than the papers and so on, are these ones, the important ones, the ones that are putting the fundamental to start understanding what the future will be. So guys, continue to support the channel with a maximum of like. In the last recent weeks you are doing a fantastic job. Thank you for that. Continue, because you can't even understand and imagine how important it is to continue to like the video. So continue to like, subscribe if you didn't yet, and now we start. And we start with Edwin van der Sar. I wanted to dedicate that important video to Edwin van der Sar, ex-goalkeeper of Ajax, ex-goalkeeper of Manchester United. In Premier League he also played at Fulham, but especially played at Juventus 2 years. Yesterday we saw the message from Ajax on social media, on Twitter, saying that Edwin had a bleeding around his brain. He's now in intensive care in stable conditions. That's a good news, a first partial good news, but we have to monitor the situation. And I really wanted to dedicate that video to him, a goalkeeper that didn't do fantastically well in these 2 years at Juve. It was the pre-Buffon, but a legendary goalkeeper, and a goalkeeper that I always have in my heart. Even before him joining Juve, when he was already at Ajax, a goalkeeper that I was really impressed about. So Edwin, that always spoke well about Juve, I wish the best. I really wish the best to him. So guys, maximum of support for him. Yesterday it was the day of Cristiano, Giuntoli, and now we will deep dive. Yesterday there was also the day that John Elkann was in La Continassa. John Elkann is not every day in La Continassa, but when he's there it is important, and yesterday was an important day. The message of Elkann to Giuntoli is quite simple. John is saying, torniamo a vincere, first page of Tutto Sport. Let's go back to win. Important words. What? We will check that in a minute. But first of all, I want to continue to explain that for me, the priority for Juventus has always been a sporting structure. This was for me the priority. I know that it was trendy to scream Allegri out, we want change, or whatever, Di Maria out, Vlahovic out, or Pogba out, whatever. We wanted people to be changed, and probably we were taking care of the bottom part of it. But the bottom is not always the solution, or at least in terms of priority. Priority structure from the top. And if we already changed the board that was appointed after the first one was dismissed, they were appointed to take care about the off-the-field topics. We already spoke about all these kind of things. Salary maneuver, finding a deal, the Plusvalenza case, maybe stepping out of the Super League, and all the videos are already supporting, and you know already about that. But now the next mission has been to structure that sporting side. And if yesterday one piece and maybe one of the most important pieces were added to that puzzle, Cristiano, Giuntoli, not only that was shared by Juventus, but also the new kind of structure, sporting structure. Ferrero, president, we know it. He will take care about, at the end responsibility, not a lot in front of the microphones. He will take care about that off-the-field topic and making sure that everything is working. One. Under him, and now we are going towards a bit more what we, Juventini, we, the fans of football, are taking care of, or what we love from, is Cannavino Maurizio, amministratore delegato. We already said it, CFO. He will take CEO. He will take care of the business Juventus, the world Juventus at 360 degrees, with two men that will report to him, Cristiano, Giuntoli, and we will deep dive in him in a second, not in him, but about him, you know what I mean, and then Francesco Calvo, that at the moment partially was taking care of that first team. We saw him a lot of time in front of microphones. He has been switched from role. Pay attention, not less important. He will take care about the revenues, managing the revenues, and also about the development of football. So Giorgio Chiellini, at the moment is not at Juve, but Claudio Chiellini, his twin, we know it, recently has been appointed to be the sporting director of the Next Jet project. He will report to Calvo. Scaglia and Milani will be responsible for the youth sector, so under the Next Gen, under 19, under 17, and so on and so on. Braghin, Direttore, that I had the pleasure to meet him, what a fantastic person, will continue to be responsible for the Juventus women. Then you have Morganti, will be the sporting secretary. And then you have Mike Armstrong and Riccardo Colli, that will take care about communication and marketing together, reporting all of them to Calvo. Revenue, marketing, and development of football. Important role from Calvo, but on the other side, he will not take care directly anymore of the first team, because the first team will be under Cristiano Giuntoli, responsabile dell'area calcio della prima squadra. He will be responsible from the calcio area, and this year, from the first team only. We want to not distract Giuntoli from all the other things, next gen, women, what we just spoke about. First team, under him, Manna, that will be the responsible for the first team. And then you have Allegri as a first team coach, and then you have Matteo Tognozzi that will be the scout, responsible for scout. And then you have a link figure, Federico Cherubini, that will have basically two roles, being the chief of staff, so all of them will be linked with him because he's chief of staff, but on the other hand, he will try to find ways to develop project in terms of youth team, next gen, women, first team, what can be the solution that have an impact immediately to all the different teams immediately. So fantastic new structure, and now I can say that structure, I can really start believing it. But of course the video is about Giuntoli. And what will Giuntoli do? Because I already tell you, it will not only be Mercato, even if you're already so far in the video, I can already tell you, remain on the channel because I will reveal you the first names apparently on the list of Giuntoli. We already have them reported by Gazzetta dello Sport and other papers. Well, yesterday he made a really fantastic impression to all of us Juventini. And that's the first thing. You know it, they are saying in some books, in some quotes, in some management things, that the first 7 seconds that you are presenting yourself to an audience, they are the most decisive one, because in 7 seconds people are already having a judgment on you, and then that judgment will be really difficult to change. If they like you, they will go towards positively judging you. If they didn't like you in their first 7 seconds, it will be a bit more difficult for you to gain their trust. Well, yesterday we can say that in 1 minute 37 video on Juventus TV, he gained the heart of a lot of Juventini in terms of enthusiasm and Juventinità. Then, of course, on the field, he will need to deliver result. But his words were fantastic yesterday. What did he say? Well, it is incredible. The first days in Juventus are incredible, and he couldn't even find a word. Nearly indescribable. He couldn't describe the moment that he was in. Why? Because as a kid, he was doing 8 hours of bus to watch Juventus. Some people, especially Napoli fans, they were joking with it because they are really angry. That from where he was living to the stadium was only 4 hours. Maybe they forgot that the poor kid, Cristiano Giuntoli, needed to go back to home. So 4 plus 4 is 8. But yeah, what do they know? What do they know? Anyway, he said that it was really touching for him to be at Juventus. Really great moment of satisfaction. Incredible feeling. Then he continued to speak about his father, a real Juventino that since a kid shared with him that Juventinità, something that a lot of people are trying to do, a lot of fathers are trying to do, sharing that Juventinità with their own son. A thing that I try to do also here on the channel, trying to share Juventinità. Not only toxicity, but also especially Juventinità, DNA, history. What is Juventus? What are the principles? Even if we are in a difficult moment, keeping strong. Well, that guy received that from his father. He also said he's a bit melancholic. We know it because unfortunately the father passed away. He said, I will always be grateful for him, but in a way I will always be sad that he was not able to watch me acting at Juve. His dream has been fulfilled, my dream has been fulfilled. Then he described Juve with 2 words, attractive and ambitious. And I loved these 2 words because Juventus is attractive, even in difficult moments. Look at that. How many players, when they have the opportunity to go to Juve, they don't refuse? How many people go to Juve, even from the Scudetto winner team, with ambitions to try to win the Champions League Napoli? If they have the possibility, they go to Juve without any hesitation. Ambitious team, that's what we will speak about now. The future, what Juventus wants to do. And we have the first 4 directions, the first 4 lines and tasks from John Elkann and the management to Cristiano Giuntoli. But he continued to say, I am a hard worker. I am a workhorse. And we all need to work harder than the other ones. Then, if we are working better, we will discover it. But what I would love to do is that we are putting aside all the I's and we are working on the us. Beautiful, of course, something famous. He didn't invent that sentence, but he continuing with, I would really like to put a bunch of heads together that are sharing one heart. When I'm doing Juve at the end of the video, that's what he's speaking about. Ragazzi, okay, now we spoke since too long probably about how we are arriving to Giuntoli. I can tell you already, he's not the usual sporting director. What I told you already a few minutes ago. From Cristiano to Cristiano, why am I thinking of that origin? Why am I thinking, and I tell you that Cristiano Giuntoli is here because probably of Cristiano Ronaldo. When Juventus was at the top of the world, when they were really at their peak, what we did to try to even start to be even more global, even more international, even more successful, because on Italy we have hit the roof of everything, the roof of revenues, money, but also the roof of trophies, because everything was won on the Italian soul. We're trying to go internationally, revenues, more fans, more marketing, but also trying maybe to win the Champions League trophy that we couldn't do with Cristiano Ronaldo. But that's also the point where Juventus started to make strange mistakes, big mistakes, and one after the other we are at today, the 8th of 7, 2023, with a team that is not able anymore to win, with a team that a lot of people are saying it's a finished team. Not because of Cristiano Ronaldo, that brought a lot to Juventus off and on the field, but that was morally the starting point. So in addition to that, the COVID problem, the signatures of some players that were really strange, not really sporting wise the best choices and so on, not being able to sign some fullbacks because we had other priority to again fulfill our banks, our cash money in the books and so on and so on. Well, with Cristiano Ronaldo we saw a decline of Juve, and now at one of the lowest points of Juventus in history we are bringing back another Cristiano with another mission, not scoring 101 goals in 134 games, but this time making sure that he's able to rebuild Juventus from scratch with new ideas, with new objectives again, but really fast. So from Cristiano Ronaldo, that we went really down, again, not because of him, but that was the starting point, we're bringing another Cristiano that will have the mission to start again from now, from the 7th day of the 7th month of 2023. Ragazzi, that's what for me the invisible link. But now, how will he be able to do that, Cristiano? From Cristiano to Cristiano. First of all, with a 5-year contract, which is super important. Yesterday, Giuntoli, he was there, as he was there since Tuesday. And I can tell you that some people told me he has been really impressed by the infrastructures of Juventus, by the staff, by all the tools at disposal. Really impressed and saying we have everything we need to work on winning objectives, to victory objectives, to do much better than we did in the last years. He spoke with Paul Pogba, and you saw all the pictures, him keeping his hand, explaining him while talking, but he really wanted to understand, first person, not only with some reports on Word documents, Excel documents, with some stats or whatever through mail, or in meetings. No, he wanted to know personally. And personally, he wants to know every single detail of Juventus. Everything. When he's saying that he's a workhorse, we are speaking about a guy that he doesn't care about only watching reports. He's going directly as a first person, like he did in all his team, going on the bench next to the coach. Will he do it at Juventus? Not sure. But there are possibilities that he would love to be there on the field, listening, feeling, training session. The first thing that he asked to a lot of people were, how many time is the team spending together in the day, after training, and so on and so on? How many time are they using these facilities? How many times are they spending with the coach? He wanted to know all these kind of things. A lot of important questions to start immediately understanding. He wanted also to understand every single detail, to be prepared to have an impact, putting priorities. What are the priorities, the objective that the management told him to do? Of course, winning, but there are more urgent things. The first thing is working on the relationship with Max Allegri that he will meet on Monday. That's an important one, a crucial one. Working on having a fantastic relationship with Max Allegri, especially for season 23-24. The future we will know. 1 point. Second point, supervising all the preparation aspect. You remember how bad we were in preparing our summer tour and starting the season. It's already 2 seasons that we are starting really bad. Supervising all these aspects, but also deep diving in all the injuries we had. He's not a doctor, and that's why for these 2 aspects, for the preparation and for the injuries, he will count on Andreini, someone that we don't talk a lot about. But you remember, we talked about him 1 year ago when he joined Juventus with a role of taking care about the new physical structure, about monitoring this and this and this, which we couldn't see for the first month of the season. But in the second part of the season, the injuries, at least the muscular injuries, were a bit less. And he's starting already to changing all the different protocols, J-Medical and so on and so on. So Cristiano Giuntoli will work strictly and closely with Andreini to make sure that they are also solving that problem. And then managing all the team dynamics. One that is waking up without a smile, one that is thinking about his contract, one that is not happy because he was not playing in the last game, one because he was subbed out, one because he's playing as a left back and he's a goalkeeper. He will have to manage all these team dynamics to make sure that the coach Allegri can focus only on working without taking care about the external problems. The management told him in basic words, you need to make sure that everything is working and fast. Incredible words. Everything has to work well and fast. It doesn't mean that we have to win the Scudetto tomorrow. We hope so, but we want to battle for it. And we don't want to speak again about injuries, about this, about that, about that, about that. And then you will tell me, Beppe, okay, beautiful and great and fantastic, everything that you want to, but what about the players? Because we have to do mercato, you know it. First we sell, then we buy. He's already taking care of some situation, some important situation. It's not the casualty that we are speaking about Bonucci. In maybe going out, being not happy, being frustrated, that's one name. Then he's trying to give new names to Juventus. Even if yesterday the names that I was hearing I was not really happy about, because we are hearing again about Berardi. Please know, but there are already some substitute in that role that is telling us Beppe, from a 3-5-2, we are really evolving towards a 4-3-3 or a 4-3-1-2 or whatever. Because the names that are linked there, in case Berardi is not the first option or if it's not working, we have Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique, that is a striker from Betis, young striker with a lot of potential that is only earning 400,000 euro a year. Cheap buying, young player, Brazilian player. Curiosity. It's true, in La Liga he scored only 1 goal. I was not really happy to see that after 33 appearances. In total 43 appearances with all competition, 3 goals and 7 assists. Not the player that is making me dream for 20 million euro, but it's a name that I never heard about. Never heard about being linked to Juve, like Isaacsen from Midtjylland. Other idea of Giuntoli for that role. Rodri Sanchez, that we already spoke about in the last days. These are names for that specific role up front. Then other names, for example, in defense, Hermoso, that we already spoke about, but then also today, Mavropanos. Mavropanos, that is playing at the moment at Stuttgart in Germany, after being a player of Arsenal, still a young player that has possibilities to still develop his potential. A player also him, really cheap salary, contract until 2025, so you can go for him for maybe even 10 million euro. Attenzione to these names that personally I don't know really well, but really new, fresh ideas. And then you go towards the strikers. Today there is a new name, Retegui, the player that we know with all that story from Argentina becoming a national Italian player because he was found by Mancini. Well, he's one of the names, but also especially Jonathan David. Jonathan David that you can start, if Vlahovic is leaving, to start negotiating for a price around 50 million euro. Jonathan David is a name that I can already tell you. I don't know if he will arrive or not, but we will be able to read more times. Maybe I need to find someone to do a video with about Jonathan David to really understand if he's the player that could potentially replace the guy that is called Dusan Vlahovic. For the midfield, there is one name, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. If Gazzetta dello Sport is telling you instead of Pogba, if Pogba is going to Saudi Arabia, other people are telling us he could join even with Pogba. And Corriere dello Sport is giving us another bad news today. Is it true or not? I don't know, but they are pushing and insisting that Juventus would be able to have a meeting on Monday for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and the idea in that meeting would be to offer Pellegrini plus Rovella, with a loan with obligation to buy, plus 20 million euro. Right, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money if you are taking care. I believe that Rovella is 25 million euro. 10 million euro for Pellegrini. That's already 35 plus 20 million. We're giving 55 million for a player like Sergej Milinkovic-Savic in his last year of contract. Out of mind. I don't believe in it. And I hope that nobody in Juventus is really also taking in consideration to send Rovella to Lazio. And no. If it starts to be something concrete, we'll speak about that on the video. And then we have another bad news for some people. The fact that Parisi is closer and closer to Fiorentina. But am I angry with Juve? No. Is Juventus missing on Parisi? No. A player that I really want, and I don't give up at the moment, I really want it. But if Juventus is going to Empoli and they are asking you, because your name is Juventus, 18 plus 3 million of bonus, and eventually also Ranocchia, while Fiorentina is going and they are asking you 10 million plus 2, well, we have a problem. So my recommendation will be stop spending any single euro, dollar, whatever currency, crypto, whatever, in Italy. Don't sponsor them, because you will sponsor them, they will be able to survive, and when you need, they will absolutely not help you. So ragazzi, that was it for a super long video, but I believe it's a video that is putting the fundamentals towards that new Juventus, from Cristiano Ronaldo to Cristiano Giuntoli. Question mark? Grazie, forza Juve.